For many of us, a garden is not just a place for plants. It's really an extension of our home, a sanctuary where we can connect with nature. It's a space for peace and quiet reflection. And for those of us with dogs, it's a space we want to share. There is honestly nothing quite like the simple pleasure of working the soil with your loyal companion, snoozing in a patch of sun nearby. Our dogs are part of our family, and including them in our gardening life just feels natural. It brings a unique warmth and life to the garden, turning what could be solitary work into a shared, joyful experience. However, sharing our beloved gardens with our four-legged friends isn't always straightforward. We dream of a peaceful coexistence, but the reality can sometimes be, well, a bit more chaotic. A freshly planted border can become a delightful digging pit for an energetic terrier. A prized rosebush might look like the perfect chew toy to a young, curious puppy. This is such a common story for many gardeners who are also dog owners. The key is not to get cross, but to understand that a dog will simply behave like a dog. They see the world differently than we do, and our garden is their playground. The challenge, then, is to create a garden that works for everyone. We need a space that can be both a beautiful, productive plot for us and a safe, stimulating environment for our dogs. It's about finding a happy medium, a compromise between our horticultural ambitions and their natural instincts. It means thinking a little differently about our garden design and our planting choices. With a bit of thought and planning, it's entirely possible to have a stunning garden that your dog can enjoy without causing too much destruction. It's a rewarding process that really deepens our bond. This journey of creating a shared space is well worth the effort. A garden that welcomes a dog is a garden full of life and movement. It encourages us to spend more time outdoors, which is good for our own well-being. Watching a dog explore the scents and sounds of the garden is a joy in itself. It reminds us to appreciate the simple things. So let's not see our dogs as a problem to be solved in the garden. Instead, let's see them as partners in our little patch of earth, and let's get to work making it a paradise for all of us. To create a successful garden for you and your dog, we must first understand why they do the things they do. Digging, for instance, is a very natural behavior for many breeds. It's not done to annoy you. Sometimes they're digging to find a cooler spot in the soil to lie down on a hot day. Other times they might be chasing a mole or another small creature they can smell underground. For some dogs, like terriers, digging is simply in their blood. It's an instinct they find very hard to resist. Understanding this helps us to be more patient and find better solutions. Chewing is another common issue, especially with younger dogs and puppies. Just like human babies, puppies explore the world with their mouths. The texture of a woody stem or a soft leaf can be very interesting to them. Chewing can also be a sign of boredom or a way to relieve stress if they're left alone for too long. If your dog is chewing on plants, it's often a cry for more exercise or mental stimulation. It's their way of telling you that they need something to do. We should see this not as bad behavior, but as a form of communication we need to listen to. Then there's the simple, unavoidable fact of their size and energy. A large, bouncy dog can flatten a bed of delicate annuals in a matter of seconds, not out of malice, but pure exuberance. They often create their own paths through the garden, taking the most direct route from point A to point B, regardless of what is planted in between. This is known as a dog run, and it's a pretty common sight in gardens with active dogs. They're not trying to ruin your hard work. They're simply moving through their territory in the most efficient way they know how. Recognizing these behaviors as instinct rather than naughtiness is the first and most important step. When we see the garden through our dog's eyes, we can start to work with them, not against them. We can provide outlets for their energy and instincts that don't involve destroying our precious plants. A garden should be a place of joy, not a constant battle of wills. By understanding the why behind their actions, we can find gentle and effective ways to guide their behavior, creating a space where both gardener and dog can thrive in harmony. Now let's talk about practical solutions. To manage digging, one of the best things you can do is give your dog their very own designated digging spot. Choose a corner of the garden that you don't mind sacrificing. You can build a simple frame with untreated wood and fill it with sand or loose soil. Bury some of their favorite toys in the sandpit to encourage them to dig there and not in your flower beds. Every time you see them start to dig elsewhere, gently redirect them to their special spot and praise them when they use it. This gives them an outlet for their natural instinct. To protect your plants from being trampled, consider creating clear pathways for your dog to use. Observe the routes they naturally take across the garden and turn these into proper paths. You can use materials like bark chippings or paving slabs. Raised beds are another excellent way to keep plants safe. By lifting your flowers and vegetables off the ground, you create a physical barrier that discourages your dog from running through them. A low fence or a small decorative border made of willow or bamboo can also be enough to signal that a certain area is off limits. When it comes to choosing materials for your garden, safety is paramount. Many common mulches like cocoa bean mulch are highly toxic to dogs if eaten. Opt for dog-safe alternatives such as shredded pine, cedar, or hemlock bark. Avoid using chemical pesticides and slug pellets, as these can be very dangerous for pets. There are many organic and pet-friendly alternatives available that will keep your garden healthy without putting your dog at risk. Also, make sure your dog always has access to a shady spot and a bowl of fresh water, especially on warm days. Finally, choosing the right plants is crucial. Many popular garden plants, such as lilies, daffodils, tulips, and foxgloves, are poisonous to dogs. Before you buy a new plant, do a quick search to make sure it is safe for your pet. Thankfully, there are plenty of beautiful dog-friendly options. Plants like sunflowers, snapdragons, roses, and lavender are all safe choices. Planting tougher, more robust shrubs and perennials can also help, as they're more likely to withstand the occasional bump from an enthusiastic dog. A safe garden is a happy garden for everyone. Creating the right environment is half the battle, but training is just as important. Teaching your dog good garden manners will make your time together outdoors much more relaxing. Start with basic commands like, leave it and come. These are invaluable for stopping your dog before they chew on a plant or run through a newly seeded lawn. Practice these commands regularly in the garden, using lots of positive reinforcement like treats and praise. Keep training sessions short and fun, so your dog learns to associate the garden with positive experiences and listening to you. Consistency is the key to success. It's also vital to ensure your dog gets enough exercise and mental stimulation. A tired dog is a good dog and often a less destructive one. Before you head into the garden for a long session of weeding, take your dog for a good walk or have a vigorous game of fetch. If a dog has plenty of opportunities to burn off energy, they're less likely to get bored and look for their own fun by digging up your dahlias. Puzzle toys and chew toys can also be left in the garden to keep their minds occupied while you focus on your tasks. Never punish your dog for a garden mishap. Shouting at them or getting angry will only make them anxious and confused. It will not teach them what you want them to do. Instead, focus on redirection and positive reinforcement. If you catch them digging in the wrong place, clap your hands to interrupt them, and then lead them to their own digging pit. When they dig there, give them lots of praise. This method builds a relationship based on trust and cooperation, rather than fear. A calm and patient approach will always yield the best results in the long run. Ultimately, gardening with your dog should be about the shared joy it brings. It's a wonderful way to strengthen your bond. The time you spend together in the fresh air, surrounded by the beauty of nature, is good for both body and soul. Your garden becomes a living, breathing space filled with love and companionship. It teaches us patience, understanding, and the simple pleasure of watching things grow, including the wonderful relationship we have with our furry friends. It's not about having a perfect garden, it's about creating a perfect space for you and your family, paws and all.